everyone to another episode of Football Armchair Experts, where we pretend to know everything, but actually we know nothing. The preview for Euro 2020 final is upon us. 50 games have already gone, just one game left. It's Italy versus England. This is England's first final in 55 years, although the way they've been going about it on the media, it would seem as if it's been shorter than that. Here to look at how these two teams will be going into the final, Liverpool fan Imran, ex-Portugal fan Manjun, Chelsea fan Robin, and I myself, Mark, I'm an Italy fan. Now let's go with Italy versus Spain first. This was a game where it was sort of an interesting game because it was a, contrasting styles between both teams, and it actually ended up 1-1, and it went all the way to penalties. Italy won 4-2 on penalties. Spain sort of dominated possession. We did sort of expect that. But how do you think Italy did in terms of dealing with Spain's majority of their possession?
In general, they did quite well, and which is surprising because I don't think they were very, very defensive. I don't think it's like quite similar to the past Italian sides where they will just play defensive. It sounds very weird, but it's like they defended very offensively, if that makes sense. It's like they are defending, yes, but it's not just sitting back and defend. They are pressing the ball, and like their counter attacks are always like very fast, and you have like a lot of players like ready to pounce like the moment like they get the opportunity. So it's not just like setting up solely to defend. To defend, I think when they get the chance, they have a lot of very good like clear chances to score, which is why they managed to score also. And in Spain's case, it's more of, I think it's the same problem that most of us already knew coming into this tournament, and that we see throughout this tournament, which is that like they can retain possession but they cannot score goals. And
I think before the game started, you were saying how they took Morata off and they started with Oyarzabal in the center, and they also started with Dani Olmo also. So I mean, these two players especially, you were saying that sort of really frustrated you.
They're like okay around the box. At the moment they get like touches in a penalty box, like all their shots everywhere, and it's just like flying away. The keeper don't even have to make like a save. It's like either they can't even get the shots, or when they get the shots, right, it's not like in any way on target.
Does this really surprise you? Because I mean, Dani Olmo isn't a centre forward, but Oyarzabal sometimes he does play there.
I think it's more excusable for Dani Olmo because even in Leipzig, he doesn't really play this position. That's what you say. He basically plays like more of a number 10 or in the wings. So putting it up front, I guess maybe Luis Enrique trying to recreate the old false nine again, maybe a create magic. I think it's more of that. As for Oyarzabal, I mean, the thing is, I feel people actually have expectations of him coming into this tournament based on the season that he had with Sociedad. So I'm not sure how he has done in terms of numbers, but in terms of the eye test, in the games that I watched for Spain, it doesn't seem like he is really performing, really broke out. So maybe it's a tournament too early for him, I feel.
Although, speaking of like centre forwards, Adama Traore completely didn't even came off the.
Damn! Now that you mention it, right?
It was close though. Almost came on.
So it means he was warming up, lah. Was he warming up?
He was ready to be subbed on, but Spain equalized.
See, that's the thing.
But if he was subbed on, he won't be for Morata also, what?
No one will know. No one will ever
That's
know.
That's
true.
I mean, but I think at this, I don't know. It gives a bit of a sense of like the coach also don't really know what he's doing, because at this point it feels a bit just like he's just throwing anything that he has at it, hoping that it works, right? It's like, oh, okay, shit, now that our striker's not working, Morata not working, then like, okay lah, whatever, just try a false nine, try this, try that, like, and then which obviously didn't work for them lah.
I always thought like the reason why he brought Adama in the team was because he knew he had two strikers that perhaps would underperform. Then currently now they're underperforming and he still doesn't start or even like plays Adama at all. So I don't know.
For diversity reasons.
he's the token black guy.
Just like bring him on to for representation.
Given Morata was in the end the Spanish striker who actually ended up scoring, should Luis Enrique have started with him?
Maybe not. I still don't think so. I was hearing the commentator talk about it over the course of the game, why he picked Dani Olmo as the false nine instead. I mean, they suggested that it was because they didn't want Morata to match up directly with Bonucci and Chiellini, who were Italy's strengths, and Morata will probably get eaten up by them if the centre backs were fresh. So I think maybe the consideration was when the oldies are a little bit more tired in the second half, then you bring on Morata to stress them out a lot more, which worked. I mean, he got a goal. Could be lucky, I don't know, but it was a very nice goal to his credit. And I guess the tactic worked. I thought Spain played impressively well with the new false nine thing. It was a scary experiment, but it worked quite well. But I agree, Danny Olmo linked up very well, but he just couldn't finish. So that was very unfortunate for them. Otherwise, I think the game on a whole was great. Like, it was a very, very good semi-final match. Both teams were pretty counter-attacking and they were very fast in the transition. So I think both goals were pretty fast-paced. I would say Italy's one was a very good counter-attack. When he went in, I was like, wow, thank God he went in. Like that move deserved the goal. Morata's one was just like a series of quick passes and then, to his credit, a decent finish for once.
For me, actually, to be honest, I think this was a game where I won't say Italy were lucky to win, because I think on the balance of play, I think it was all right. You know, they dealt well with Spain's possession. They will probably had the better of the chances also, because I think, of course, help with Spain's lack of finishing also. So it looked as if Spain, even though they had a lot of possession, they weren't really doing anything with it.
It's by design.
Yeah. So I mean, in a way, I guess this sort of help us confirm that, okay, Italy still are able to do without possession. Say, for example, if England were to come in, they want to try and possess the ball more. This Italian side does have the capability to at least deal with it, although it did take them 120 minutes. Immobile didn't have the best game.
As expected.
Mancini did try to go for a different hit. At one point, after Italy went 1-0 up, he did take Immobile off and he tried Berardi in this false nine position, which he sometimes plays for Sassuolo also. It looks as if he isn't very sure which one he probably prefers going into it if, say, for example, Immobile isn't having a good game. Do you have a preference for either of these options?
I do not think that he will start a false nine in any way against England, because he hasn't done so in the whole tournament. So probably he will stick to his core 10 outfield players. So he'll probably stick Immobile there for like majority of the game. But I do expect him to have quite a quiet game. I don't expect him to trouble England's defense. We haven't go to that yet, right? But yeah, but I don't think he has the class or skill level to actually trouble England that much.
Okay, but I guess in terms of this game, it did go to penalties. It was like, I think, one of the better penalty shootouts we've seen also. I mean, there were misses as usual, but this is now the second consecutive penalty shootout we've watched. And the winning team ended up missing their first penalty. Locatelli missed for Italy, but they've ended up converting all the remaining 4. Of course, your heart has to go out to Morata, who missed the penalty. He went immediately from hero to zero. Should Morata have been the one of the 5 to take a penalty for Spain?
It's not for us to say, it's easy to say he should have taken it, but he made the call that he was confident enough to take. Plus, he scored earlier, so he had reason to be confident. And he's a striker, so why not, right? You're expected to score. What more from the spot? So it's unfortunate that he took not the best penalty of his life. And it turned out this way. It just had to be him, right? Morata.
Yeah. And it's not the first penalty he missed, right?
Probably not, yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah, it's not. He's missed the penalty in the group stage, right? Against who? Poland.
I remember there's one game where he also...
Was it Sweden? Okay, it was either Sweden or Poland, but he did miss a penalty in the group stage.
Okay, in his defense, it's not really missed, just get saved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Not like Danny almost one.
Okay, that one is a miss.
Yeah, it tells you something, when like both the 2 misses in the Spanish squad are like both their forwards in the penalty shootout. Yeah, but like back to your question, I think there's no way Morata won't be taking a penalty. Like, you're the striker, if you're not in the first 5, right, then what the hell are you doing in the squad?
Yeah, if he doesn't take and they still lose, it will look worse on him as a striker.
Will it though? Because people won't be like, oh, so why didn't he take? Correct. People will be like, oh, actually, yeah, with his confidence and all that, kind of expected that he wouldn't take.
Okay, maybe the flag will be more on the team, on the manager, rather than him. But you never know. The Spain public seems to hate Morata a lot.
I don't know if we should give praise, because we already knew that Jorginho takes penalties like this. But apparently Unai Simon didn't know.
It might be his best penalty ever, man, this one.
Yeah, he properly set the keeper down before he even took a shot. So that was quite I almost want to say anticlimactic, because you almost want to see like the net burst kind of thing. But it was sort of like he feigned one way and then just rolled it into the other corner.
guess one good thing going for Italy is that their keeper is 10 cm taller than England's keeper, Jordan Pickford. So you can give it to him.
I don't know if you noticed before the penalty shootout, Chiellini was like being overly friendly with Jordi Alba before the coin toss. I wasn't so sure what that was all about. Yeah, but it's sort of I don't know, like it was a little bit of a psychological battle kind of thing where he was being overly friendly. Then Jordi Alba looked like he wanted to punch him or something. Yeah.
Okay lah, but that's just Jordi Alba. He also never missed a penalty.
That's true. Yeah. I guess we can go to the next semi-final. This was one that went the full distance as well, but it didn't go to penalties. England beat Denmark 2-1. Denmark did take the lead through Mikkel Damsgaard's goal. It was the first goal that England have conceded in these Euros. England have shown they do have character. They've bounced back, with 2 goals. One was Simon Kjaer's own goal. The other was a debatable Harry Kane penalty. He also didn't convert the penalty. It was saved, but he did follow through on the rebound. Does this new side of England sort of give you confidence going to the final?
I don't think it changes my perception of them. I think even without having this performance, they also sort of have enough in their tank to like already come back and like score goals. It doesn't feel to me like it made them any stronger.
It's the first free kick goal in the tournament, so well
is it?
struck.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, apparently yes.
Mm-mm.
It was a very well hit free kick, but I thought
Cristiano Ronaldo should take notes.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly that type. But for Pickford's form in this tournament, I thought he could have done better. Like it was really not that far, and he was playing so well throughout these past few weeks. I thought he could have saved it. But yeah, as you said, he was very jittery throughout the whole game. Effectively, he made a lot of mistakes. He put himself under a lot of pressure. So almost my Lao Qiu prediction almost came true. So he will be a concern, like his mental state will be a concern, Pickford. But I thought overall, while Denmark's first half was really good, England just had too much quality. And I thought going 1-0 down was very good for England, just to have this experience, so that they won't be naive that we are like perfect defense, It's very good experience to go 1-0 down at home behind this kind of crazy Wembley crowd. Yeah, it was a very good thing that they came back. I think it makes them much stronger mentally.
Was it a penalty?
No, not to me, no. So soft. I don't even know what did the VAR see. I didn't even see the contact. Some say it's a push, because it's definitely not the leg one. Because it's so soft, this penalty. No goal. To me, no penalty.
Okay, so I guess England fans cannot complain about VAR next time.
I think even Gary Neville also say he said it's not a penalty, but I don't care.
Yeah, correct. I mean, most England fans will be like,
it's the most biased commentary ever. That match. They were so happy.
I think that was the little bit annoying thing. And plus, I think one pundit mentioned it. I think it was on ESPN also. He said that if the shoe was on the other foot, say for example, if this was a call for Denmark, we will never hear the end of it. It'll be another 55 years we'll be hearing what the penalty of God or something like that. Like same with Diego Maradona also. This is probably the last question on Denmark. I mean, they sort of made all their subs before extra time. I found that a little bit bold. I think all 5 subs were before extra time, and England only made 2 subs before 90 minutes. And then they subsequently made their subs even late in extra time. So most of them were I think clearly that possibly with a view to take penalties. Is it a case of England's strength in depth winning through in the end, or was it a case of, I'm not quite sure, if for Denmark, was it a case of okay, we need to win it in 90 minutes, if not, it's not going to happen?
I think both. Really, it works for both ways that you just mentioned. England have too much strength in depth, while the moment Damsgaard and who was it, Dolberg got substituted, right? You knew it, they had not much left in the tank. They were physically declining. Second half onwards, England just controlled and dominated the whole game from there. So there was only going to be one winner if it didn't go to penalties.
This is the last question on Denmark, because I can ask Manjun for this. You did mention in the last episode that even if Denmark don't win, they will have won something. So did they win that something from you?
I mean, if you take away the Eriksen incident, you would say this is, you wouldn't say it's mediocre, but you would say it's a sort of like a okay tournament for Denmark.
Okay.
Yeah, looking at the teams that they had to face. I mean, they faced Wales and they faced Czech. I wouldn't say they are world beaters. They probably won the casuals' heart, but they didn't win my heart because we are no casuals in this on this show.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay,
Although you say that, right, I would say arguably because we aren't casuals, we know that Denmark do have players. There is more than just like, oh, okay, because of this Christian Eriksen thing, therefore they make the semi-final. I think it's sort of in between these two
Would they
polar
have made the
opposites now.
semi-finals with Christian Eriksen? That is the thing.
Actually, interesting question. I think may not have been.
I think they would have, looking at the teams that they face.
I feel you get a bit of spark,
I
to be
think
honest.
I think
The
it did.
tactical switch.
Obviously, it did give them a bit of spark. But yeah, I think what Robin mentioned also, there was a tactical switch. Initially, with Christian Eriksen inside, he was playing as a number 10, which they currently don't play with. They play with a front three. So it's an interesting question because we will never know in a parallel universe if Christian Eriksen continue playing. Basically, Damsgaard replaced him in the team. So, Damsgaard potentially would have been the breakout star for Denmark this time. So you never know lah. If the pieces would have fallen the same way they did. But in terms of England, how good is Gareth Southgate now that he's brought England to the final?
Based on my understanding, he seems more like a RM, like a relationship manager more than anything lah.
Okay.
Than an actual coach that knows his X's and O's. I mean, with a squad so talented at England, right?
Oli,
I would think that perhaps being an RM is more important than knowing your X's and O's lah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I give that to him. But in terms of being a tactical musician, I wouldn't label him as one. I would label him as a very good people person, since he has so many egos to handle in the dressing room.
Say, for example, would any of us take Gareth Southgate as our club manager?
No.
Yes, I would. No questions asked, confirm.
No, but seriously, Manju, would you? Okay, I would say right for Fulham, right, I would not take Gareth Southgate as my club manager. So that's even championship standard. But it's interesting that you say you would though over Steve Bruce.
Yes, I would. Yeah, I would say though, even though Steve Bruce's X's and O's might be way inferior to Gareth Southgate, I can safely say he will be a better RM compared to Gareth Southgate lah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's one thing going for Steve Bruce. But
So,
let's talk
so
about
should Steve Bruce and Gareth Southgate do a job switch?
Wow, I really think Steve Bruce will just do a Steve McLaren. I think would Steve McLaren bring this team to the finals? I mean, I don't know.
But I also feel like this England squad has maybe less ego than the previous squads. It feels like they're a lot more together. Maybe because of Gareth Southgate. I think in terms of the tactical part, it's a bit hard to say because at the start of the tournament, people will say how he doesn't know much, right? He's just like being defensive and all that, and like not really implementing anything that's like very new or revolutionize anything. It's just like, just defend well, which is what most lower teams in the Premier League already does. But then again, does that change when you manage to do that and bring the team to the finals playing not necessarily very bad football? Like they are defensive at times, but still doesn't look as bad as it sounds.
And how much of it was, I think this is something that people unfairly, in my opinion, mention, is that most of the other major countries don't really have their act together this time round. Like, let's be very honest, I think Italy going into this would have been quite lucky to make the final also. England usually always underperform. Usually we expect, a lot of us went, and I think we've seen in our predictions, so a lot of us went France, Portugal, Germany, but a lot of them, found ways to screw it up. So was it a case of like, the other major countries didn't have it together and by default, these two teams rose to the top?
I mean, you could say England had arguably the best squad coming to the Euros. Maybe head to head with France lah. So if you have a squad this talented and you have like maybe a subpar, maybe it's a generally okay manager, then I think you should be able to get the job done. To be honest.
Okay, so what kind of subpar manager would also be able to get this done?
Let me think about it. Let me go through all the subpar managers.
Steve Bruce.
Steve Bruce. Hello, I said subpar, not way below par.
Don't diss Solskjaer now. Not many.
Okay, yeah. Well. So let's give options. Like Robin said, would Ole bring England to a final like this?
I think looking at the route that England went, besides Germany lah, but I think Ole would be able to do it.
in that case, you can say the same thing about Man U. Oh, it's because of the other teams not doing very well. That's why they second this time, bro.
Yeah, I mean potentially,
That
yeah,
was-
correct. Like,
yeah,
is
that
that
was
is
true.
that the argument we are going for now, or is it a case of like,
But
actually we are not doing England enough service, or conversely, we are not giving Man U enough credit for the Premier League also.
I think it's unfair to England if you say they get here just because the other teams do badly. Because
Okay.
every tournament there'll be teams that do badly and there'll be teams that underperform, there'll be teams that overperform. And England have been underperforming for so many tournaments, right? So it's just, I mean, it just evens it out. It's like there'll be some. So in this particular case, maybe they are playing up to performance, whereas the other teams underperform. But it's a cycle one. Like come the next tournament, or like you see like the previous tournament, there'll always be teams that are up and teams that are down. And you just have to be up at the right time. So in this case, it's Italy and England who are up at the right time.
In terms of this final, Italy versus England, it's finally time to sort of get into this, give our predictions on how this game will go.
I think it's gonna be a interesting game because both sides, I think, have like a bit like quite similar principles. I feel it's like they can choose whether they want to attack or defend, and like it's not just like playing one particular style. They are willing to adapt according to like your opposition and what they want to do. So it'll be interesting going to this to see how both teams want to approach the finals. Like, do they want to take the front foot? Because both sides can do that. If both sides decide to do that, then it'll be a nice game. If both sides just want to defend, then it'll be less interesting. But it'll still be like tactical in that sense. So I don't think it'll be a boring game, even if I don't think there's going to be a lot of goals. It'll be a bit more tactical and a bit more depending on what their style, what they want to play. But ultimately, I feel that England will prevail because even just looking at Italy's previous game against Spain, you can say that they did manage it well, but Spain was like famous for not being very efficient with their goals. So and the same can be said for England. England takes their chances and they have a better squad than Spain, and they definitely have better attackers, and so I think England will win 2-1. It's not that Italy don't play well. I think they play well also, but I don't think Immobile is having a very good tournament. So, and as you guys mentioned, he's useful more of just like as a hold up and link up players and then around like Chiesa to score or something. So, but in this case, I think his speed won't really affect England that much because they have freaking Kyle Walker who runs them fast. So, so barring any mistakes, should be able to handle Italy's pace if they decide to play on a counter.
A part of me feels like England definitely is more than capable of beating Italy, but they need to settle into the game much faster than they did against Denmark. They have to cut out all the anxiety moments where they just a bit like headless chicken, just press, then Pickford make mistakes, that kind of thing. They need to cut that out, which I think Italy will not have because I think they're just full of experience. Even if you look at Donnarumma, he's 22, but he's been playing for years. So he has experience also. And Mancini versus Southgate. I just hope whoever takes the lead doesn't make defensive substitutions too early because that'll make for a very boring game and might lose after that. But somehow I will go for the mental side. I'll side with experience on this final because I think England will make a whole meal of this occasion and might put a lot of pressure on the England squad.
Just to make to contextualize what you mean by making a meal, right? Apparently yesterday after their victory against Denmark, they had a fireworks display.
Serious?
Like official one.
Oh my god!
Big band.
I mean, they were at Wembley, so already probably
Wembley,
yeah. So probably
final
already
also
got backup fireworks in the storeroom. They're like, finally they take up.
With 70s or 55 years, maybe they'll fall on. Spoil already.
Yeah, the scary part is that they really have the home ground advantage, which is crazy. But I'm hoping again Pickford to make mistakes, Lau Chiu again, anxiety Pickford to cause them the trouble. Because I think Kyle Walker and Shaw, no one's gonna get past them. They're just too good.
Unless Kyle Walker makes mistakes, which he does also.
That's true.
So
We just
far,
haven't
not
seen
yet.
it.
Yeah, but not yet. So far, he's been mopping up. Like anybody who try to run past them, he's the one catching up. So it's quite sick.
He had one against Ukraine, right? He back passed and
Oh, yes.
almost didn't reach Pickford. Then
Yeah.
there was a bit of a panic.
So if that happens, then okay, Insigne better score. Insigne cannot afford to have another wasteful day. He needs to be like against Belgium, one shot, one kill, top corner, that kind. But I'll go for experience in this one. Mancini and Italy, I think they will overcome England. At least that's what I want to happen, because there's too many casual fans that talk a lot when England do well. So I don't want them to have the luxury of winning.
Okay.
So yes, I'll side with Mancini for this. Italy to win 2-1. It'll be a good game, I think.
Okay, also in 90 minutes. Okay.
I hope lah. I don't want to keep staying up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very painful having to stay up for both, by the way. But yeah. Okay. For the guy who didn't stay up for both, very well rested.
I'm all ready, guys. Monday morning. But the thing is, there's a few things I'm not looking forward to. Firstly, is the freaking video view on the freaking Wembley. The low video view on Wembley. Camera view on Wembley. I totally hate that view. Because it just makes the field look so small. It looks make the players look so close to each other, which I totally dislike. Okay, other than that, on the football aspect, okay, I said nothing to say about the stupid. Okay, let's not go there. Cancel stupid. Of casual fans like supporting England.
Okay.
The only reason why, one of the reasons why I feel that they support England is because they have a stupid lingo of it's coming home.
Yes.
And it's in English. So casual fans who know English, that's all they fucking know. When you scroll through the social medias and all that shit, it's always coming home, you know what I mean? And this person doesn't know much football, but yet he knows it's coming home.
Yeah.
So I mean, give it to the England PR lah. You know what I mean? They have the world support, other than Europe lah. They have the rest of the world support for this. Okay, back to football.
Actually, I know this is how to say, diverting from the topic a little bit, but I don't know if this is asking Manjun to think back during our secondary school time. Do you remember our we had discipline master previously? I think this was after the game where England, where Frank Lampard's goal didn't it crossed the line, but the referee didn't see it. That one against Germany, where in the end England lost 4-1. He used it as a lesson learned on how you should he was painting England as the underdogs and all that kind of thing on them, with the Maradona hand of God. So this team, you should really support them because they're always getting the short end of the stick. I don't know, that kind of really made me very annoyed, because knowing that England have also had times where things have gone for them, and yesterday was a good example also.
I'm amazed as to why this memory stuck with you all this while. and the thing is, I don't remember this.
Yeah, he was doing assembly or
something. He probably spent 30 seconds talking about this, and yet he remember up to now.
It's an impactful part of his life.
I think he does have Man U fan vibes, that piece of shit. But yeah.
Oh my god!
Let's put it out there. I feel the longer this game drags, it will suit England because I feel that they have more impact subs, you can say that, off the bench. So that's the thing. I don't know how Mancini is going to circumvent this. He better have some magic. Maybe he can put 4 wingers up front. Let's put in Berardi and put in anybody. As you know, I have gained a little bit of a liking for Italy because I've been following Italian football TV on Instagram. And
so shout out to Italian football TV.
Hopefully, Italy can do a damage quickly. Yeah, hopefully they can raise up to a 2-0 lead and England come back, then it's too late. Oh no, then Italy win. So,
very specific.
Yes. So I think Insigne and Keza has to be top game. The game has to be top. They have to carry their fellow friend, Ciro Immobile. I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to a 2-1 Italy win.
Looking at the talents of both squads, I think Immobile is probably the one main weakness in the combination of both squads. Actually, I would say England, I guess maybe you could say their defense would be something that you would be concerned with before the tournament started, but I guess maybe because of the system that they play with 2 defensive mids, being able to shield Maguire and Stones, actually, if we were to look at their Premier League careers, actually they are very capable of making mistakes by themselves. But somehow there has not been, I don't know if it's because of the system or because the opponents they face so far haven't really tested that back four also. Jordan Pickford, until also a little bit shaky also. So I don't know if this could be a game where maybe they could be shown up. Obviously because of my allegiances, I have to say I think so.
Allegiances. So your passport, where is it?
Allegiances is just okay. I will go with Italy win. I mean, I don't think Ciro Immobile will score. I don't know if that's going to be a curse. Suddenly he score right then. Wow. I think I'm going to go with 1-0 Italy win. I think that, obviously England have the better talent. So I think for Southgate, he doesn't need to out-tactic Mancini. So it'll be interesting to see what Mancini comes out with, whether he will change things up and how he will deal with his subs also. That is our round-up of the Euro 2020 finals. I don't know if he'll be doing a starting 11 together. Maybe we could try doing that also.
Best keeper
Okay.
of the tournament.
Jens Sommer?
I was thinking Jan Sommer also, but after yesterday's performance, possibly Schmeichel, but I think
It's these
given
two.
they didn't go through,
Kasper Schmeichel has a case, but after that, it's just how unexpected is it? I think in Kasper Schmeichel's case, it's not really breakout, right? It's like he's always been good, but Jens Sommer is like never really played for like a big club and all that, so like relatively more unknown. Or is it Jordan Pickford?
after yesterday, I don't think so.
It's right. You look at numbers, right? It's Jordan Pickford all the way. Like.
Well, correct. But then again, this kind of thing, do you want to just look at numbers only?
You look at numbers, right? It's also Donnarumma all the way.
Yeah, Donnarumma also good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this thing, Jordan Pickford never really had to make a lot of saves.
Alright, I think it's the case for Pickford and Donnarumma also. Like they weren't put under enough pressure to really show that they earned that spot lah. So
Yeah.
Sommer-
I mean,
Sommer
but it's
is
not their fault, right?
it's not
like,
their fault.
It's because
Yeah.
they're in better teams, but maybe that's why in weaker teams the keeper shine more usually.
Okay,
Yeah.
So Sommer is a good shout. Plus he
think
win penalty kick. He win
For me
penalty
for me, yeah.
Yeah, same.
Okay
I
lah.
would say Sommer also.
He
Okay,
had-
that's
He has
majority.
so much to do. Can.
What formation are we going for? 4-3-3? Because that's the most common formation in the Euro so far.
Yeah, 4-3-3 now.
Can you shout
so-
out your favorite players, then you see.
Shout out your favorite
Yeah,
players.
that's true. Mahjong, eh?
you're looking at numbers, right?
Mm.
It's John Stones and Harry Maguire the way.
Yeah, exactly. But
Or the botak Italian brothers, whichever
Cannot,
you
I
want.
think cannot look
Yeah.
at numbers for defense. It's like because
You
that one
see
is
who your
like
favorite player is, to be honest.
because that one is like the whole unit one.
Okay. So I
think
guess
just
maybe
individually like the players or
okay, then I guess maybe we can start with centre backs first.
I really
guess we
like
can start
Simon K. I think he's not bad.
okay.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I think Bonucci is pretty solid this tournament.
yeah, the Italian defenders.
I was thinking right for centre backs, maybe I would go one Italian, one English. But maybe
I'll
it's that
pick
too.
Bonucci and Maguire for me.
Yeah, because I will go Bonucci, Maguire. But I understand from Manjun's point of view also potentially Simon Kia also because that's a surprising.
I mean, he has been around for so long. I think he's meant to be still so good.
Trying to think of who else that's like.
I'm looking
think
through the squads now.
I think centre back very harder to pick because it's like compared to attacking players. Attacking players is very easy to see who like
Correct,
do
that's
well.
true.
They're like very hard to stand out.
who made the best tackle in the
Yeah,
tournament?
like who made the best impression on you, during this tournament?
Laporte? No lah.
Not
I know
really.
that
Actually.
Spanish defense, no, man.
Yeah.
Eric Garcia, no, man.
Yeah, I think because both the squads that made the finals are both like generally strong defense on, so it's like it just makes sense to pick their defense, right?
Yeah.
Like one Italian and one. Okay, I guess that's what we go for.
Okay, I guess it's Maguire, Bonucci.
Hey, why can't we John Stones and Benucci? Oh, it's quite. Oh, okay.
I mean, can if you want to make
Can
a case for
lah.
John Stones also.
I think it's a toss up between the four of them. Like you just put
I
any four in.
think okay. To be honest, right, I think the difference is that Harry Maguire scored.
Okay, lah. You want to go by numbers? Okay, then we shall give to
Chiellini
Maguire.
scored also, is it?
I thought Benucci scored.
Or is it Bonucci?
Oh, it's
cannot-
Bonucci. But
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
so we're going to go by score. Okay, I guess.
Okay, lah. Harry
Make
Benucci,
the
lah.
difference. Yeah, why not? Okay, I know. Actually, I don't know. But is England going to go with Joachim Miller for left back?
I don't know. I think left back has quite a few good players this time around, right? I think Miller, Luke Shaw,
Luke Shaw,
Luke Shaw to me quite clear cut for me. I think.
Spinazzola, is it? But
Spinazzola also. Yeah,
Spinazzola.
but you
But
know,
he
does
injured
that
lah,
injury kind of count against him? I would say actually it's Joachim Miller for me, but I wouldn't mind if it's Luke Shaw also.
That's right. Yeah, I see
yeah,
this too.
I would just give Miller just for diversity lah.
Okay.
Like, cannot have the whole squad just like England or
Italy,
Italy.
Italy, yeah.
I think Miller, lah. Probably Miller, lah.
Okay,
Okay,
Miller for left
Yeah,
back.
just for that assist alone, is it?
Mm.
Like the outside of the
that
boot.
one.
But it was a
that's
good assist,
sick, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Right back, I would say Dumfries. He impressed
Wow,
me.
even though
Wow.
round of 16 elimination. Okay.
I mean, all round play, he impressed me the most.
I should think right back of who's yeah.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of
picking
good right
Kyle
backs.
Walker, resisting
Would it-
Walker.
No lah.
Yeah, because it could be by default Kyle Walker.
He has defended pretty well, to be
Yeah,
fair.
yeah. I think he has built England out a few times with his speed lah.
Yeah,
But then it's really down to like his physical properties only.
yeah, correct.
But attacking wise, not really for most of the right backs this time round, right? Feels like maybe they tuck in a little bit more and let the left backs go ahead.
Vladimir Sufal.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I told you disregarded the Czech squad.
No, because the Czech squad only got one player who's going to be now starting XI only.
How dare you?
But I mean, I guess this is for discussion purposes lah.
You'll not be in mine. You're not
Sufal
kidding.
is not bad. Sufal is not bad.
Who's Germany right back? Kimmich? Did he do anything?
Yeah.
Arguably, I think Gosens did better than Kimmich this time. Dumfries is interesting though. Like for me, in terms of Netherlands, other than Wijnaldum, probably outstanding player for the Dutch. But round 16 eliminated, not sure if you can put him in.
Yeah, that's the problem. But
Never
I feel
see enough, right?
Yeah.
Performance-wise,
Only like one or two good performances, and suddenly,
yeah, he's really damn good.
yeah, move on.
Also, right back, did we decide? I think it was Kyle Walker lah.
Yeah, give to
Overseas
Walker lah.
Sufal.
Whatever lah.
I guess in midfield it will be 3 midfielders lah. So I guess this one you can shout out. I think Pedri probably
Jorginho, Pedri.
or Jorginho also.
Stop.
Well, Jorginho for Ballon d'Or or not?
Because
I don't know.
he
Ballon
win
d'Or a bit
first
of
and
a
we say lah.
stretch.
He win World Cup and we say.
No.
Ballon d'Or is a stretch, but he's
Pogba.
been playing super well. Oh,
Pogba.
Pogba.
You know, if France made it further potentially also, but also same round of 16 out.
That's why him and Wijnaldum about the same fate lah.
Yeah.
Playing well,
but
out
But
to
he's
early.
he was so good, yeah.
Yeah, that's why he quite carry. Yeah, he carry France.
Yeah, lor, he carried France.
I guess I
De
don't know if you
Bruyne.
want to have De Bruyne.
Oh, De Bruyne, damn, yeah. Shit.
How about Emil Forsberg?
That's-
Oh yeah.
Yeah, is he a
But
center
Emil
mid?
Forsberg, it'll be front three, right? Not midfield three.
No, he's like a number 10 lah, actually.
Wow, half
I guess for some people, it'll be potentially Højbjerg. I'm surprised he even got 3 assists, but
Oh, he has 3 assists. Oh,
Serious?
very
What?
wonderful
okay lah, then put him in lah. You need a
Put him in
defensive
lah.
mid lah. As a
Okay,
defensive mid.
put him in lah.
3 assists.
but he had
it's not
a
good.
pretty good tournament. I'm just surprised about the assists because I don't remember.
Yes, yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah, looks like it. So it's what? Jorginho, Pedri, Højbjerg.
And Højbjerg.
Can lah. I think quite balanced.
guess.
Leh.
Quite
Yeah,
solid.
actually, it's
like
surprisingly balanced. Yeah.
defensively solid team.
Yeah, you got Højbjerg for the full defensive duties. You have Jorginho for the half and half.
Yeah,
Correct.
Then you
And
have Pedri.
Pedri is the
Yeah, lor.
I guess
Guys, I'm gonna give a shout out to my second favorite Hungarian player.
Again.
I hear his name. I hear the commentator say his name. I'm very shocked. Yeah, what's it? Kleinheiser, something like that lah.
What the hell?
Okay.
Yeah, well, his
So
name,
why shock? But okay, I don't know.
it just feels very nice. But shout out to his nice name.
Okay, I guess in terms of front three,
Raheem Sterling on the left side.
Yeah, he has
I
to
guess
play
we
lah. Follow England, oh.
I think in the middle should put Kiefer Moore.
Gareth Bale on the right.
Yeah, but right, Kiefer Moore on there. Wow, Aaron Ramsey also. Wow, let me tell you.
I try to think of who else on the left, yeah. Other than Raheem Sterling. What are the other options? Lorenzo Insigne.
Yeah, I guess Insigne.
The impact difference, yeah, Sterling really, he's the carry this
He carried England
yeah,
offensively.
I think for left, no choice. It has to be Raheem Sterling.
Then
Are you really
striker.
going chic?
I think striker, right? Who wants to argue against Patrick Schick?
Me. Give me a second.
I must think, yeah, his
Harry Kane.
link up play. How was his link up play?
Okay, from what I watched from Patrick Schick, right? I think his confidence is through the roof. So I
Okay.
wouldn't say his link up play is good, but that's every time he has the ball, he just feels like I can just go and score.
Yeah, he like right place, right time.
When he's in the around 1 meter around the penalty box, he's gonna go for goal already. Yeah,
I
he's
think
gonna aim towards
he's
goal.
more involved
I guess-
than Kane was. So
Arguably, that's what you want from a striker.
Yeah, lah.
yeah.
I mean, you can say Casper Dolberg also break out a bit.
Yeah, Dolberg also decent.
Yeah,
eh.
I mean, I didn't even to start his fucking any other games. I mean, Robert also scored 3 goals.
Yeah, I see they've
That's
done
true.
decently well, but like no one like really.
Again, Robert carry more than anything.
Correct. Yeah, I think nobody else scored about Poland, right?
I think someone else got from Poland. Lah.
Or is it
One.
disappointing?
the right wing back or something.
Yeah, but Robert is the one that carried it on the last game. Lah.
Yeah, all the way around.
Yeah. So we
See,
can give a shout out to Robert.
Okay, it's not saying that like the strikers flop per se, but it feels like they sort of just meet expectations. Like no one
Okay lah.
really like
Mm.
wow, like this one like no one really like took over the tournament or what, right? It's just like oh Lukaku scoring goals or Harry Kane scoring goals. It's like okay, and it's like not very, very impactful also, right? It's just like they score then like, okay lor. So strikers is just like Patrick Schick. Let's just
Yeah, okay.
yeah, I
so
think
no,
so,
no
yeah.
arguments against
I
Patrick.
think that one based on expectations is like he's the one that
Yeah.
defied the most and he's got the most goals, so can't really argue against that.
Okay, right side.
Chiesa?
Right side.
Last guy. Yeah, Kiesa's a good shout.
Yeah, I'm thinking anyone else other than Chiesa.
Yaramchuk. I love their names. I keep saying their names. I love it.
But
Yaramchuk.
Yaramchuk. Wow, what a
the
fucking
Eastern
name.
European name.
What a fucking name. I love it. Oh my god. I mean, can put Damsgaard though, I guess.
Potentially, he'll
He's
probably be
he's
either
a
Chiesa or
young, he's
Damsgaard.
like a young player. Maybe. I would say Chiesa lah.
Yeah, lor.
Yeah.
Same.
I mean, if you were to choose between these three, which one you'll be your team, I think it would be Federico Chiesa lah.
Okay, so that will make an interesting Euro 2020 final. We will not be doing a review of it. So more or less, this will be our final episode for our Euro 2020 roundup. Thanks for joining us on this journey for our entire Euro 2020 previews. From all of us here at Football Armchair Experts, even though we know nothing, hopefully today you learned something. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. It's not coming home. Bye.
It's better not come home. Yeah.
Jun, will you be watching this game?
But the good thing is, even if I do miss it, the next tournament is not 4 years away. It's only next year. So there is a silver lining.
But then I'm sure next year also you still need to stay up for it. So what?
Next year, who knows? Maybe I do this full time.